Brian Knows is brought to you by Meats of the Round Table Podcast. Listen to your beefy bones, Jamie, John, and myself as we eat the meats and good eats all around Southern Maryland and beyond. Check us out on your favorite podcast platform as well as YouTube. That's at Meats of the Round Table, spelled MEATS.
Let's start the show. It's Ryan Knows. So kick back, relax, and let him guide your soul. Around the windy roads of life to take you high and low. Trials and tribulations and acquaintance you should get to know. So maybe let him in to get a better sense and open up your heart and your mind to find a better friend who's experienced a lot in life and isn't perfect. As he looks for purpose, a deeper meaning as we dreaming in between the circus and beneath the surface.
Hi, I'm Brian, and I know Bobby. I did say you could give pieces to things.
Well, I did it anyway.
Okay, you're not even allowed to talk yet. I'm just kidding. You can talk. Welcome to Brian Knows Bobby. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I sounded like I was talking to a very small child for that second. Like, I'm glad you're here.
I thought I blew it already.
No. You did nothing wrong. There's nothing to be nervous about. We're just sitting here in the freezing cold man shed, and you have a tiny little heater barely on your back. We have to figure out something. I got that heater. It was an Amazon special. It was $14, but it wasn't for the price, but it was the fact that it only put out 500 watts.
I can still feel the heat off of, off of
like
the bell.
if you're right on it, you can feel it. Anyway. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
You've been in the man shed before because you're a friend. Yeah, we've known each other. I was trying to think at how far we go back. So what I remember is when both Shannon and Lisa were pregnant with Gavin and Kylie. Yes. So that was like 16 years ago.
16 years. But I've known your wife much longer than I've known you.
Right. So you know Shannon because you guys used to work at Blair's together.
Shout out to Blair's.
Yes. And you're not going to give a shout out to Shannon?
Oh, well, Shannon was my boss, and she was a great boss at Blair's, and that's why I loved it so much. Let's go with that.
But you guys also had a wonderful dance number together too, right?
I thought we were going to break it out on the show, but hopefully
we can record it afterwards and then throw it in post if you want.
No, we'll pass.
We're good.
That.
We're good.
We're good on that.
Okay.
I forgot my leotard at home.
I have a spare one. It's just the plus size one. You'll be fine.
Oh, thanks.
You might like the fact that it is bigger. Anyway, so before we get into what makes you special, the thing that you geek out about, which I wonder if the audience can tell already because I'm dressed a little different. I normally have like horror stuff on. Anyway, before we get into that, we're going to eat. Okay? So this right here is Shannon's Sloppy Joe. So this is not like manwich out of the can. Do you guys ever do manwich at home?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Okay, do you add anything special to it or do you just like...
No, basically just out of the can.
Okay, so this is Shannon's version of
it.
And it followed with some Kraft macaroni and cheese. So this is going to be a little messy, so we might have to pick up our plates because what we do is we're going to cheers it. We're going to cheers. We don't have to cheers the mac and cheese, but the Sloppy Joe.
The Sloppy Joes?
Yeah. I think today we should call them Sloppy Bobs.
Sloppy Bobs.
All right, for you. All right, so this is kind of hard to get. See,
Well,
look, I'm already dumping. All
apart.
right, so let's cheers. Now, the first bite we have to do in the microphone. So
they can hear it?
Yeah. This is Shannon's favorite part.
Shannon's favorite part,
yeah, so just, you're going to have to, this is going to be a messy one. Let me hear it. This is beautiful. All right, this is my turn.
Oh, I can hear yours much better.
All right, well, see, I open my mouth when I do it.
I was trying not to.
This one's going to be harder. I'm going to get another bite. I love her Sloppy Joes.
This is good. I wasn't sure of how much I was allowed to eat.
You're going to eat as much as you want. I want you to eat. Well, I probably got it all over my face.
I know. I was worried about dropping it all down my jersey.
I mean, if it gets on the floor, the dogs will get it. And now we got to get some of that Kraft mac and cheese.
Yep,
yeah.
Get some of the mac.
I think she added some extra cheese to this. This one's good. Yeah. It's interesting hearing yourself eat, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
You never really think to record yourself eating.
This is It's different. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so we'll eat and talk while we do this, and that's a little different, but I think you'll do good. I believe in you, Bobby.
You believe in me?
Yeah, Ricky Bobby. All right, so Bobby, the thing that you nerd out about, and I could say it two different ways, but I'm going to say it the way that you love it. You geek out about the Washington Redskins,
Yes, sir.
a.k.a. the Washington football team, a.k.a. the Washington Commanders.
You could have just left that to the Redskins.
All right, because that's what it is to you, right? Like when you got into it, it was the Redskins, and most people that at least are our age or older, that's all they know. I mean,
It will always be the Redskins.
I have a hard time when I'm like in Walmart and I see Commander stuff. It just doesn't look the same, and I have a hard time buying it. I wish I didn't, but you know.
I'll never own anything that doesn't say Redskins. I haven't donated $1 to anything since they switched to WFT and Commanders. Even my debit card was Redskins, and I was very depressed when they sent me a new one
Because it expires.
It expired, and so it came as a WFT. And that's the only thing I own, I guess, that would have that on it.
But that wasn't your fault.
No. It wasn't my choice for sure. I was very upset and annoyed when that came. I even called and asked, "Is there any way?" They were like, "No, obviously, it's no longer exists. They can't do that." So I'm stuck
Like you
with
can't
that.
just like cross that out and then restamp
Put a
it.
sticker over top of it or
Right.
something.
I get it. Now, what? So how old were you when you like started getting into the Redskins?
Well, what's funny is I was raised by a single mom. I didn't play football, pound ball, or anything like that. She was always like, "Oh, you'll get hurt. It's too dangerous," the single mom type of thing. Which she was probably right, because I used to play with the kids in the open schoolyard, and obviously separated shoulder, broken
The
arm.
way that you said it is like you're 87 in the schoolyard.
schoolyard in the schoolyard back
When
in
I
the
walked
day.
to school,
Feet, you had feet.
I did. I have two of them.
But it's very random, and it's a weird story. So I don't even remember being a football fan before this instance that I'm about to get into, and I promise ahead of time it might be a little long-winded.
I'll cut you off. It's
Okay,
all right.
good. Cut me off
You're
if it gets
fine.
too long. So the lady who babysat me down the street, she had a son about the same age as me, and like I said, here we are. I'm 8 years old. This is 88. This is 1988, and we had to go to Hyattsville or whatever it is, Forestville, the J.C. Penney's, because this is the time when
Yeah.
Waldorf had no mall. It was all still farmland, nothing
Right.
like that. So we were there shopping. I can't remember before. She was probably getting clothes shopping for her kid, and she was just babysitting me in the process, doubling up. And we were at the counter, and they had one of those little cardboard boxes that said, a little drawing thing, enter to win some tickets to Redskins game. I didn't, didn't think anything about it. Was just probably killing time, waiting, bored. Obviously, 8-year-old clothes shopping. It wasn't even for me, so that even made it worse. So I go ahead and just put my name in the drawing. Didn't think anything of it.
You were 8.
I was 8.
Okay.
2 weeks later, my mom gets a call and says that my name was drawn out of it. So
No way.
I was chose to be
Wow.
a fan of the game.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was the start of it. And then, so they said they picked me up in a limo. My mom didn't want to go.
Oh,
so-
this was
yeah,
serious.
This is serious. Yeah,
Wow,
this is how it all
okay.
became.
Wow,
And
wow,
it gets crazier
I had
too.
no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so a coworker of hers took me because obviously my mom she didn't care about the football or anything like that. So got a limo to the game. This is RFK, obviously. It's still the greatest football stadium ever. Hopefully, and big news yesterday dropped yesterday, so they might be returning there.
House
Obviously,
and Senate.
yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But so had my name on the scoreboard, fan of the game. Had
Oh my gosh.
a little placard they said that.
And
I
you
had.
know what sucks is like that was like way before cell phone time, so it's
Exactly.
like you couldn't just
Yeah,
snap
exactly,
a picture. Right.
exactly. Much different time. So,
Right.
and I got to go to a training camp session too. Like after at the end of the season when they started the next year, because we were in the middle of season at this time, and so I had second row seats with this, my mom's friend coworker, and they ended up beating the Giants. I remember that. But the craziest thing happened at the end of the game, in RFK. Like the new stadiums, they have tunnels where they go down and they go out of the stadium. But in RFK, they went into the dugout because it was a baseball stadium still too, and then you went down and out. We were sitting right in front of this, and at the end of the game, Theismann, No, sorry, Rippon. I'm sorry, Mark
Mark
Rippon.
Rippon,
Mark
yeah,
Rippon.
yeah.
Yes, had his he put his mouthpiece from the game in a little plastic bag
Mm-hmm.
and just tossed it as he was walking down underneath the stadium. I didn't. I was 8 years old. I didn't care about that.
Right,
But
right.
everybody around me, the drunken old guys, were all going crazy trying to grab it and spilled beer all over me. Obviously, I remember this story very vividly. I didn't get the mouthpiece, whatever. I didn't care about it at that time.
If you had gotten it, would you have put it in your mouth?
No, who knows? Maybe at 8 years old, I probably
would've,
would have.
yeah,
Probably, who
just
knows?
saying.
But after that fact, that game and that scenario, how I became. That's how I got my first, attendance to a game and first experience with anything football, really.
But that's not their normal
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
I mean, like
You think about it
watch-
like household growing up, and you're just like passed down. But
Right.
yes, I didn't have that growing up or anything like that. So that's how I became a Redskin fan.
that's insane.
Yeah, and then from there it just snowballed.
Okay, so it was like you were hooked.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
and
but you had the ultimate fan experience.
I did.
So
that was pretty cool.
I get it.
And this was obviously during their glory days.
Yeah.
So this was right in between when they just won the Super Bowl the year before, and they won another one a few years later. So this was a good time to become a Redskin fan because they
Yeah.
were actually a relevant team. Obviously, but over the years I got more into the Skins. Obviously, before kids and everything like that, where now priorities changed a little bit. It's a little bit back burner, but yeah. So that's kind of how I became a Redskins fan, and it's just been straight full.
like
full
you
steam
were
ahead.
you are such a fan that when you walk into your house to the left, there's the Redskin room.
Yes.
Right. So like, is the rest of the family allowed in there, or is that just you?
No, they're allowed in there.
Okay.
Obviously.
Well, I didn't know if there's
Yeah.
like restrictions. I mean, I didn't know if
No.
you have like security that comes out.
No, but they all obviously like Redskins. Like back to the name, it's always going to be Redskins. The girls all call it Redskins. Nobody's going to call it.
I get
Commander.
it,
Yeah, it's
and
just-
I
It won't change.
I don't hear many people unless they're like in their young 20s that'll
That's
call
new
it
to
the
them.
Commanders,
Yeah,
right? But they might have also not grown up with it. I grew up with it, but my family like just was not about sports. My dad didn't know a whole lot. I asked. It was time where we were allowed to put a theme to our room, and that was rare back then. And I said I wanted to be Redskins, right? So my dad said, "Okay." So I got home, and he was so excited, and I walked in, and the bedspread was like back in the 80s they had this bedspread that was a football bedspread, but it was generic, like it just had football players and football, but it was white, blue, and had silver trim, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
You got a
The
Cowboys.
walls were done blue, white, and silver. But my dad thought that was the Redskin colors.
Really?
It was not a
You think he
joke.
wasn't doing? I was about to say, did he do
Dude,
it on purpose?
I don't get it. No, like our family, like just was not. Like my brother got into it, but I think he was a Cowboys fan. I don't know. Who knows with him? But yeah. So anyway, I got into it. I wasn't big into sports, and I haven't been big into sports because my life was magic, was performing. But then I started dating Shannon, and there's all this Redskin stuff up everywhere. Like she is a Redskin fanatic, Now I did. I used to hang out with the Hogettes. So I want to get back to that. So you remember the Hogettes,
Oh,
right?
of course, yes.
Okay. So you remember the Funky Bunch?
Yes.
Okay. Who was the Funky Bunch?
Oh God, you're putting me on the spot right
I am.
now.
It's
Oh,
okay. The World Wide Web is wondering.
Gary Clark, Art Monk. Oh God, what's the third one? Do you know?
Here's the thing. You can say whatever you want because I have no idea.
I can't remember the third.
I mean,
Gary Clark.
I remember the Funky Bunch, but
That's pathetic. I guess my.
do you remember what they would do?
They would jump up. And do, oh, what do you want me to do?
No, you don't do the camera won't get it.
I can show it. But
So they
yes,
would jump up.
and they would all come together. The three of them.
Okay.
I'm
no,
upset at myself. I can't remember the third
don't
one.
do that was a while ago. So
Well, yeah.
I get it. All right. What's your favorite opposing team to go against?
Really?
Yeah.
That's a random question.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be obviously the divisional matchups. Obviously, our fiercest rival, obviously the Cowboys.
Right.
And obviously,
But do you still feel that way? Like, has that changed? Because, so mine went to like I'm not a Cowboys fan, but it would go to the Eagles. But that was from going to games.
Okay.
And the Eagles fans were, they
Well,
showed their pride.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Well,
which I mean, I understand. I get it. I'm glad that they have that, just not when they're at our stadium.
well, like I said, like when I became a fan, that was their glory years. I was young. Obviously, I've never experienced them successful as in the last 25, 30 years. So obviously the Cowboy games was always the big rival regardless, because they unfortunately have always been normally better at us over the last 25 years. Actually, we got a big game against them this weekend and they're struggling, and I love to see them.
Well, the time
in
this will air,
disarray.
that's already passed. So
Okay.
what's your prediction of what just happened?
What just happened? What do you mean? Of the
We're
Skins
in,
game?
we're
the
in
game?
the future. We're in the future of that. Yeah,
I
because
see.
of when this will come out.
34-16 Washington.
Okay. If he's right, you guys won't believe us because you don't know if this is really recording at the time I say it is. Okay, okay. Who's your favorite opposing? I put it together. Favorite
Like it.
opposing player.
Opposing player.
Right, like I guess it would be like the villain of the other team, but it could be from a totally different team. It doesn't have to be the Cowboys.
That's a good question. Never really think on that too much. That is a good question. I'm trying to think who's always been a thorn in our side.
Mine is Jason Momoa.
Really?
He's not a football.
I know, but why is he yours? Or am I getting off topic?
Because my body's not like that at
No,
all.
yeah, that's just jealousy.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. I get that. Now,
I'm not hating on you, but you know.
No, I can't think of there's not one person that I'd love to hate. Actually, right now, I'm not a big fan of Russell Wilson, but that's just throughout the last 5 years. It doesn't really relate to the Skins so much of rivalry for him, but we did
That's your
lose to
own
him the other.
reason,
Yeah,
okay.
just own reasons. But
Okay.
I'm sure if I sat and thought about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't stand that person. But right off the top of my head, I can't.
So
Sorry.
who's your favorite player of all time?
All time?
Yeah.
Well, that would probably be all time is a big one. The first fan favorite after I became a Skin back a Skins fan back in that day was Daryl Green.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the first one I went to.
Shannon has a story of that he waved to her at a game.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. If you've been to other games, right?
Yes,
Okay.
obviously not since
Since the change.
Since the change, I haven't
Okay.
donated $1, and that.
Okay.
And honestly, I mean, the experience of the game. The best part about it is the tailgate. They've made the experiences so good at watching it at home and my
Right.
Redskin recliner that
Yeah, he has a Redskin recliner. Let's just put that out there.
Redskin couches, Redskin everything.
Okay.
But that I don't really. The girls, my daughters, obviously, they keep bugging me to go, and they did go as little because they were. That was before the name change again. I took them to a preseason game, but the environment isn't great for kids. Most of the time
I get
as
that.
well.
I get
so,
that. Yeah.
And like I said, the tailgating is the best part. If I could go tailgate and then just leave an hour before the game and go home and watch the game, I'd be happy with that. Too.
Okay. All right. So that way, I mean, you have that camaraderie.
Yeah.
That's definitely the special thing is when you have all those people together that feel the same way.
Yeah.
So I get it, and you get really good food with tailgating too. So that's nice. Okay. All right. So that's your favorite player. Shannon wanted me to ask you this.
Oh, okay.
She wants to see if you're like-minded. Who's your favorite running back?
Ever for the Skins?
Yeah.
I mean, crank up that diesel. I mean, 44 Riggins. That's I
Okay,
don't know if she
okay.
was like.
That's not hers.
Don't tell me she was Clinton Portis or something like that. Oh,
No. Little older.
a little older. Which
Who
way?
did she meet recently?
Oh, B Mitch.
B. Mitch.
Well, yeah. Well, B Mitch was the best punt returner. I wouldn't. He is a running back. Yes, that's what his position was listed. I do love me some B Mitch.
But you see him as the punt returner.
Yes,
Okay.
because he never carried a full load.
Okay.
25 carries a game.
So what would you do if I texted you and I said, "Hey Bobby, guess who's coming to the podcast?" And Brian Mitchell came to this podcast. Like I know he does his own thing with the fan, but
Well,
I mean,
I'd be stoked.
right, you wouldn't be
yeah.
invited. I wouldn't tell you. I'd send you the video afterwards.
Just be like afterward,
She's
Bobby,
like-
you lost your
Shannon's
spot.
Shannon's like, I'm going to see if we can get B Mitch here in the man shed. So you never know.
That would be pretty cool.
He's been up in this area, so we'll see.
I know. Shannon was geeking out about that the other. I remember.
I
the story.
get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the Redskins, do you have like your favorite memorable play that you can remember?
Ooh.
It can also go into not just a great memory or a memorable incident, which most people will go to the same. By the way, I'm going to try this, mixing the sloppy Joe, because I already housed mine and you ate 2 bites.
Oh, I'm talking. Sorry.
Well, it's okay. You can learn to do both. I'm going to mix the sloppy Joe with...
I don't want to be a sloppy eater with my sloppy Joe.
Dude, nobody
on
cares.
Camera.
The sloppy Joe with the mac and cheese. I haven't. Well, let's try this.
It was pretty good, though. I mean, well, obviously, it goes down the same hole.
It does go down the same hole.
As I'm talking,
I am glad
stuff in
that
my
you're a
face.
scientist in real life. Okay.
I'm sure the girls will see this and call me, what's the word now? Big back. That's the word. It used to be
I've
Daddy
never heard
Pig. You never heard of Big Back?
Daddy Pig from Peppa?
Yeah, they used to call me that. Now I'm just Big Back.
Oh, congratulations. I mean, that's our kids. I don't really know what to say about that.
Well,
All right, so most memorable play or memorable incident, or it could be both.
probably, well, right again, back to our hated rivalry, Dallas. We were down 13-0, 2 minutes left in the game. Mark Brunell to Santana Moss twice in that 2 minutes to win the game, 14-13.
Okay.
So that one's going one.
That was a good memory.
That was a good memory.
Yeah.
There was another one, obviously, like, rest in peace, Sean Taylor. Another Dallas game, blocked field goal, return. You know, he Skins blocked the field goal when they were about to kick the game-winning field goal. We returned it to, like, midfield, and then there was a face mask adding 15 more yards to the play, which then turned around to us kicking the game-winning field goal with no time left to win the game. So, again, it's all related. I guess, you know, that's my hated rivalry, Dallas, obviously. So it all.
No, I get it. I get it. But we had those wins with them, and that's something that you can celebrate. What about an incident that happened that you can remember?
An incident. Well, again, Sean Taylor, rest in peace. Like, he was going to be one of the greatest safeties ever to play the game. Life cut too short by a random robbery in his house in Miami. That stung, obviously, because, like I said, not just obviously it sucks the loss of life, everything like that, but just the talent of player and the changing of the position, like the position he played, rejuvenalizing, whatever. I'm trying to say the word.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
he
it.
was
No,
trying
you're
to
fine.
like changing the way that position was played. Like people were scared to come across the middle of the field.
But there was something amazing with them as a team at that time. But of course, before he was gone, because there was that time afterwards where them being a team didn't really seem to exist. It just seemed to be all these individual players. But they had that togetherness when Sean Taylor was with them. Like they were a team, you know.
That's what Gibbs was also coaching still too. Like
That's true.
Another next tenure out there. Obviously, that's my favorite coach. Obviously,
I know, I get that. But he was there for a long time, and then after, I mean, look, we've just been through him. I mean, it's fine. And a lot of people thought the problem was just ownership, but then things change, and yet there's still some of the same problems. However, this season they're doing better than they have in a very long time, and they're playing as a team.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see it. They had some time off now, so them playing this game that when
Will
this
be
comes
after the
out will
fact.
be after the fact, you know. So that's a good thing. Do you have any crazy stories of anything that's happened as a Redskin fan?
Oh, well, like I said, before I had kids, everything was Redskin. I mean, you could call me a hoarder. If it had a Redskin emblem on it, whether it be mugs, man cave, pictures, jerseys, didn't matter what it was. If it had a Redskin emblem on it, it was in my house.
Would you wear Redskin stuff all the time?
Yes, all the time. Didn't matter game day or not.
You have a favorite jersey?
Probably the one I'm wearing right now, just for the simple fact of my daughter's named after Ryan Kerrigan. So
Yeah, so that's like serious fanatic right there,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I mean, you named your daughter.
After a Redskin player, yes.
I mean,
actually, for the longest time, I told everybody she was named after 3 Redskin players because her middle name also correlated with 2 Redskin players as well.
we were going to name Gavin David Copperfield.
Really?
No. But I'm glad you're a fanatic in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you and Lisa can agree on that, then that's a good thing. But the name fits her.
It does. And I'm honestly, I was thinking about it the other day too, and I was like, how? Like I remember where we were. I couldn't remember if I think she actually was the one who proposed it as well.
Love it.
Yeah. So we were in the house doing laundry during a Skins game was on or something like that. And all of a sudden we were, Ryan Kerrigan made a play, and she was like, "What about Kerrigan?" And I was like, that was perfect. And then her middle name, we wanted to use Reed for my oldest daughter, Kylie, but she came out red haired, so Kylie McKenna is perfect for Irish name anyway. So that fits her perfect. But I love the Kerrigan Reed combo, and obviously during this time it was the three names were Ryan Kerrigan, obviously 91, Jordan Reed, and Reed Dowdy. So all three of those were Redskin players at the time. So we just
I
kinda
love
went
it.
with that. Yeah.
I think I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I've known you for this long, so I think that's awesome. That's awesome. Would you say, like, if you rated how much of a fan you are, do you think it's going up as you get older, or do you think, I mean, this is my take, is that because of the name change, it's kind of like depleted a little bit, or?
I would say it's depleted a little bit. Like I said before, when it was just me in, my teenage years where I didn't have priorities with the kids, the responsibilities, everything like that. And their recreational activities take precedent, everything like that.
Dude, you're always gone.
I'm always gone to
Right.
soccer or something else. But no, and the fact that they've sucked for the last 25 years has obviously depleted a little bit. Obviously, I'm not as gung-ho as I was. I'm still always live and die Redskins. I was big sports fan, obviously, and Redskins. I'm a hometown sports fan, so obviously Redskins first and foremost. Well, now that I've said that, I want to think of the order. Redskins obviously won, probably the Capitals number 2, which sucks. They got some bad news today. Ovechkin broke his leg. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. When he was crushing it too. If you've been watching hockey, he's been on a tear. So
This isn't a hockey podcast.
Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry.
How dare you?
And then number 3, tied number 3 and 4 would be Orioles and Maryland Terps. Shout out to the Terps. Maryland.
They said what's up to you.
Yep.
It just came through the feed.
You have. I heard it.
I'm glad you can hear that well. That's very good. All right, awesome.
So what else we got?
Well, I want to talk about this food, right? Yeah. So, Shannon's version of Sloppy Joe. What do you think?
It's good. I'm sorry I didn't crush it as quick.
No, dude. Well, you were talking more than I was, and I'm used to
doing multitasking.
I'm used to talking and eating. I don't care. There's no. I have no couth to myself when it comes to doing this. Now, but I'm not going to do that when I eat. And like if we're out eating, I'm not going to do that.
No, it's different than it's not right out of the can. No, it's got some home flavor to it.
Yeah, I like the sweetness of it.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I'll do different is I'll add. I love red pepper flakes, but I am not. My stomach has been in a place for some reason. I love chocolate, and I'm not supposed to be eating it, but I've been having a good amount of it, and for some reason, it's not agreeing with my body. So before I came out, before you came out, like it was talking. Like I thought most of this episode you just roll. So like I didn't add any red pepper flakes. I'm gonna stay chill for a little bit. So
I was like to say I didn't hear it through the mic.
Well, that's good. The thing I like to do I love tater tots, so I love to do tater tots with it. But we've been doing tater tots a lot lately. So we did them on the last podcast. So that's what we did, mac and cheese. But I feel like mac and cheese does pair with it, and it does seem a little more cheesier today. So I don't know whatever Shannon did to it. Thank you, Rustee.
But I am digging on the tater tots aspect of it with over top the Sloppy Joe over top of it. I'll be banging.
We talked last podcast about doing something to tater tots. So Universal Studios, for their Halloween Horror Nights, they do it's either fries or tots. In the comments, put it on there. It's pizza ones, so it's like cheese marinara, like very basic, but it just adds stuff. So I keep thinking about like what could we do to make it fun? And Gavin, I swear, has mentioned before us doing, like Shannon talked about first about doing like a loaded potato bar, so like baked potato and all different stuff. Yeah. But then doing that with tater tots too, like why not?
Yeah.
So, and you can throw it like, I love using the air fryer to reheat things. Throw it in there just to get the cheese nice and crispy. But anyway, since we're talking about food, I mean, I love food.
Oh yeah.
Do you cook when you're at home? Or is Lisa more the cook?
Lisa's more the cook inside. I do a lot of the grilling.
Okay, I get that.
I do like the grilling.
That's how it works with us. Yeah. So, but there's got to be times where you're just at home. Do you have like a go-to meal at home that you're making?
No.
You have nothing.
No.
So what are you grabbing? Like leftovers? Or?
Leftovers, chips. I'll make some nachos. Like,
So are you more of a snack person?
I am a snacker. Like during the day, I mean, like I said, this is the meal I've eaten for the day. Today,
Absolutely. Are you doing intermittent fasting or
No,
something?
no. It's just like normally I won't eat. I'll grab like a random donut or I'll throw in a bagel or something like that. We have always bagels and English muffins at the house. But most of the time it's snacking. Like I said, today I did some nachos and some pretzel sticks.
So like you keep it very simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not the greatest cook. I'm not gonna lie.
What's your favorite thing that Lisa makes?
Ooh, she makes a lot. She actually makes pepper steak. It was one of my favorite things. Like
Shannon just made pepper steak last night. That's crazy you said that.
Well, it's funny. My mom had she got the recipe from my mom many years ago. My mom was making it. And that was always
Sorry,
my
my
childhood.
nose is running.
No, it's good. That was one of the things my mom always would make on a regular. She got the recipe from it, and now Lisa can make it fine and dandy too. So,
that's good.
So it's
All
always
right.
one of my go-to.
So I have this thing called my secret food. Okay. Now, a secret food is when nobody's around. It's just you. You're in your car. You're going to a fast food restaurant, and you get whatever you want. Like you're going through the drive-through, and you can just pig out. It doesn't matter. No one sees you. No one knows what you're eating. I would always do what I would call my appetizer meal. So wherever I was going, I would get extra food. So I would eat that in the car before we got home to eat the dinner that I picked up. Okay. So I want to find out what your secret food is. Number one, where is the fast food restaurant that you're picking? Your favorite, like even if it's not in this area.
Well, obviously everybody loves McDonald's. I love McDonald's, but I wouldn't.
I hear you.
Yeah, but Roy's is always a go-to spot,
Okay.
especially when the fries are on point and their chicken tenders are pretty dang good.
You get
And-
those holster fries where you put them right through. You put your belt right through there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then the thing about Roy's that always gets me is the fixin' bar because I love the
Yes,
fact I can pile
yes.
pickles and onions and everything else on
And,
it.
and it, like the mayonnaise down horseradish.
See, I don't use that. I just
Oh my gosh! it's
ketchup,
so
mustard,
great.
pickles, and onions. Is
I
my-
do like their quarter-pound burgers. Like that's one thing. So what in the drive-through, you're getting fries. What else are you getting? No judgment. So if you're getting multiple, I get it. But if you're not,
If
I'm not gonna
just
hate on you.
being a Big Mac and ordering everything that I want from there,
we call ourselves beefy.
beefy. I would probably go with the sliders too, the roast beef sliders.
Okay, yeah.
I've never. I mean, I like the Gold Rush, but it's not my go-to. So definitely
Okay.
the sliders, the burger, the fries, and the tenders are the things
Okay.
I'd be getting.
What are you
from there.
drinking?
Oh, Coca-Cola all day.
Okay. I get that. Okay.
And McDonald's Coke is the best.
Dude, somebody told me, it might have been Shannon that said it, that like theirs is different. Like the amount
They
of
are-
syrup that's in there is different than other places.
I've heard that too. I can't remember the story, but I do know that I think they have like a patented right to something that they definitely have it so much better.
And the thing is, there's times like you want it, you want that Coke, and then you get it, and there's like that the box, that syrup is like running out, and
you're
it's like I'm not turning back around, so let me just drink this
Yeah, exactly.
bad Coke. But,
But then you're so
excited
disappointed about
because
it.
you get like it's really good. Sometimes you get the bubbles that go down, and you can feel them, right? Like you can feel it going down. I guess I'm the only one. Anyway,
Getting a little
okay.
excited about that Coke. I mean,
Well, it is what it is. All right, so there's two things I want to promote, tell everybody about. My buddy Chuck with Potomac Shirt and Sign Company has a great deal that's going on. This was a Black Friday deal, but he's still bringing it on. All you have to do is mention to him and say, Brian knows me. Brian knows me, and you'll get $150 off an order that has 100 pieces or more. He makes great custom silkscreen shirts and banners, so check him out. If you need to get a hold of him, here's the information. You can call him at 301-684-2436 or email them at potomacsssco@gmail.com. Check it out right there. Take a screenshot. Make sure you tell him Brian knows me, and you'll get that Black Friday sale extended. So Chuck's an awesome guy. Cool. Hopefully you'll get to meet him one day. Chuck will be on here because he really loves the art of silk screening, and he has a special silk screen. It's a 10-screen press that's unbelievable. And the designs that he does, you cannot tell. It looks like a digital print. That's how good he is.
is he going to do it live on the show?
No, that's not happening. I mean, maybe we could film. Chuck, that's an idea. Let's talk about it. Chuck comments anyway. So, yeah. And the next thing I want to talk about is a very exciting guest, a guest spot, actually. So couple weeks ago, we had Charlie Riley on here from Pop Pop's Greenhouse, and we talked about the Christmas event that's coming up, and that is Christmas on the Farm. Well, on December 15th at 6 p.m., Meets of the Roundtable podcast will be there doing a live taping. That's right, not just me, but John and Jamie will be there as well in our Christmas garb. We want to see you all out there. We're going to have a live audience. We're going to do the show. It's going to be a little awkward at having everyone watch us eat and do what we normally do, but we're coming back together for this event. It'll be fun. Take a look right here. Make a screenshot as well. Look up Pop-Ups to get the address. So again, December 15th at 6 p.m. is when the show starts. There is admission, but there's some crazy fun stuff to do. It's the largest display of lights in Charles County. There's crafts, there's photo ops, there's bonfires for the children. There's letters to Santa that actually go into a North Pole mailbox. There's movies. There's that crazy slide with all the lights. It's beautiful. The walk through the woods with music and Christmas lights. Did you guys go there?
We did not, but I came by it on the way to your house, and it was all lit up today. You can tell they're still adding stuff to it.
Yeah, he's got some work.
It already looked like they're getting ready for it.
Sure. I just tell you, like it is beautiful. It is that time that you get to spend with your family that just gets you into the Christmas mood. So so make sure you check it out on Facebook, on their Facebook page. You'll be able to find out more about the event, and they're going to post their hours coming up. So we got that going on. But we're really excited. The boys are all excited, especially John. John's super excited for this event. So make sure you give John a hug when you see him. And I hope all his Christmas spirit doesn't seep onto you, because he's that excited about Christmas. He loves Christmas. Nice. Okay. All right. Bobby, I have a gift for you as a guest for coming on Brian's Nose. This is Brian's Nose. For coming on Brian Knows, this is for you. You get your very own BKB. So I want you to reach in here and I want you to reach in. Let me mix it up, because lately people have been picking the same color for some reason. Reach in there. You don't have to close your eyes. Just reach in there and grab one. Let's see which one you get. Oh, you got a different one. It is a Brian Knows Baby. It's a BKB. Hold it up to the camera so you can see. Go a little closer. There you go. That's your Brian Knows Baby, your BKB.
I'll treasure it always.
Always and forever. It's yours.
Yeah, and I have something for you as welcoming me as a guest.
No, I like this. Yeah. I like this trend that's been going on.
So let's see what we got here. Sorry, I wasn't into the mic.
Oh, man, look at this.
So, like I was saying earlier,
Daryl
Green was my first fan favorite.
Wow.
And I figured it was perfect since everything else going on with all the bobbleheads. So
that is
DG28.
awesome. I mean, that's a serious present.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Shannon's going to take this. So Daryl Green's one of her favorite players. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. I had a picture to show you from that Shannon and I got together with a couple of the players. Santana Moss was one of them. But I couldn't get to it. Dude, that is a great gift, man.
I figured it was like perfect for me and like perfect to like everything else that goes
for the
in
man shed.
Exactly.
Yes, that's going to go up here. You'll be able to see it. So that way we have a memory of you for being on this episode. So thank you for coming on. We're going to close it with a little business. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast, giving it 5 stars because Bobby says high five.
High five.
Right. So give us 5 stars. Don't forget to subscribe. That way you're notified of any new episode that comes out. Also when ones for Meets comes out as well. Make sure you comment on these videos. Would love to say hi to you. I'm the one that replies. So, I'd love to be able to say hi and thank you guys for your support. Let's see what else we have. Make sure you like the video. That's always important. That helps us, right, Bobby?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And check out the store in the comments. There's a link so you can buy that face right there on the T-shirt, on the big sticker to put in your car. We're going to get a special Redskin jersey made with my face on it so Bobby can wear it all the time.
I'll rock it. Yeah, sure.
No, you will. So thank you for coming on here, buddy. Thank you for talking about what you geek out about the Washington Redskins Commanders.
Don't say that. That's a dirty word.
What would have been the other name that you would have been okay with that they were throwing out? None.
Okay. No. I can't believe Dan Snyder caved, but I mean, he kind of had to save face for himself, but that's a different story for another day. I couldn't talk. We could do another podcast.
All right.
So I'll leave that alone.
Well, I'm Brian, and I know
Bobby.
and I like it. All right. Bye, everybody. You didn't have to shove it all in your face right there.
There was one bite left anyway.
I mean, I didn't want to hurt Shannon Rustee's feelings. Hey, I want you to look in the camera real quick and say, I'm Bobby and Brian knows me.
I'm stuffing my face.
No, you're good. Fine, never mind. Bye, guys.